including alleged screening tests, are more harmful than good, as they lead to unnecessary interventions. Mark and I cover some of the specific blood tests and investigations during our monthly Q&A sessions. There is no hybrid system that I can recommend here either. People who achieve perfect health do it by staying away from allopathy. I'd like to give the final word to Dr. Ulrich Williams, who, like Mark and I, started off as an allopathic doctor before realising it was largely toxic, stopped what he was doing, and moved into the naturopathic paradigm. Doctors do not know what disease is, nor how it is brought about. Doctors, completely unaware of their significance or purpose, are taught that acute illnesses are acute diseases, which they must prevent or cure. With this object, they employ a battery of destructive agents, notoriously more dangerous than the ills they are supposed to cure. Poisonous drugs, vaccines, radiation, and mutilating surgery are their weapons. Perhaps the worst crime of modern medical so-called science is the increasingly effective suppression of acute illnesses. Usually successful suppression has one of four consequences. 1. The sufferer is killed. 2. A foundation is laid for chronic and often incurable disease. 3. Nature, if she can, will after period intervals stage more of these would-be spring cleanings or healing crises. 4. Nature may effect a cure in spite of treatment, in which case the doctor will claim and probably get full credit for recovery. Dr. Ulrich Williams. If you enjoyed this video, please visit supportdrsam.com.
Hey, just checking that you still want to be taken off register, and which I didn't respond to, and so but then they just took me off register. Right at this stage, because the longer they take an equity, the longer they take to apply, the more it was going to cost them. And so I've been regularly taking screenshots to see whether or not they had applied with at this stage. And so so I think I noticed relatively quickly to see that like I said, I just disappeared off register.
Yeah, very similar. Like Mark was the same. Just taken off. It's not that you've been struck off or anything like that. They just one day remove you and yeah, through the equity process, which apparently isn't supposed to work, but then it actually does. Yeah. So after this real huge awakening and revelation about our careers, with so what happened then? Where are you now? Like, tell me about this journey, because this is exciting. What you're up to now? I realised maybe, I don't know if you can identify with this, but when we went through medical school, very much the overwhelming impression is that we're just sacks of chemicals, and that it's just a sort of process that kind of goes on, and like it's all driven by your genes, and that's and then you regularly come under attack from the world and that sort of stuff. That's why you've got a immune system, and so and it's a very separate thing from anything to do with your spirit or even your mind to a certain extent. I mean, as close as I kind of got in medical school is like the placebo effect or the nocebo effect. If you believe something will work, then it'll work, and so you kind of have that your mind has that control over your body. But to realise that it was that there's far more to it than that, and that really the whole chemical processes are all really driven by the essence of your spirit, and so that we're primarily electromagnetic rather than chemical, and so that was an exciting thing to do. There were still people who were really keen to see me, and so they had felt lost and let down by the medical system in some similar ways to me, and so I was able to talk to those people and essentially kind of develop a new way of looking at their health, and it had a lot to do with finding out really what their story was, and that there was no coincidence that they were suffering from whatever they were at the time. It was all related to how everything was going on in their life and had been going on in their life for the last 10 years or so. And so it's very much about finding out the whole story, about what's really going on with them, and what's happening in all these different areas of their life, and also to help them recognise that their body is trying to work with them in order to restore balance, rather than that they've had just some sort of attack from the outside, or worse, that they've been told that their body's attacking itself, and that they're a bit dysfunctional as a result of that. And so it was, and to see the change that happens when people start partnering with themselves and being grateful for that their body's trying to help them. And so it's because when you fight against yourself, like, not only is it a waste of energy, but it's destructive. And so that's a lot about what I do, but also to realise that the pharmaceuticals are not, as I've heard you say before, we don't suffer from a deficiency of pharmaceuticals. That's not we're lack of them in our lives. And so it's to help them to get from that place where they're on pharmaceuticals to a place where they can get off that and to be independent of their health. And also to help them create lifestyle habits that then shift them to keeping their independence and essentially for them to feel powerful about their health and about their life. So much about our the system in the hospital is about taking things power away. It's amazing to hear you speak like this, because honestly it speaks to my soul, because it's just the parallels of what's happened to you is so similar to me, and the wake up and realising what health is. And so you see patients now holistically. Do you see them only in person, or do you see them online? Like, do you see people from because I can imagine I know I'll have a lot of people that will be willing to seek out your services.
Yeah, but yes, I get to talk to people online, and also do my consultations. Obviously, the person is always better, and it's kind of interesting because we have an accommodation business now as well, because it means that if that was really important to people, then they could come stay. So it's just one works for them. And so, but because I think in person is always this, there's a better connection, an aligning of your purpose. And so, and a little bit in some ways, like yawns are contagious, or it's about the only contagion I believe in now.
Love it.
But there is something in there that's like a resonance that happens, and it's much more likely to happen in person. But I still think it definitely happens remotely too. And
and there's plenty of historical testimonies around that stuff. But so yes in person and yes online.
Yeah. How would you describe your work now? Would you describe it, are you more like working as almost like a naturopath, or do you have a term for it? Or because I know that you're also, I wanted to mention about, aligned with Tom Cowan and the new biology paradigm.
Yes, been in discussions with Tom, and I've identified myself as a health consultant, and so that how am I different than a naturopath? What I bring is that I've got 20 years of diagnosis practice essentially from in medicine. I'm very familiar with pharmaceuticals, and so that gives me an advantage, I guess, in terms of helping people get off those things. Know your enemy, if you like.
Yeah, I love it. It's like you're working on the good side now. It's the flip, and they. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Sorry, carry on. Yeah.
The other thing is that too, because there are some things I think that are still useful in medicine, emergency medicine. If I have an open cell fracture hospital, then I still think I'm going to want to go to hospital. And so some people still need this hospital system, or at least until they can get out of it. And so, and being very familiar with that system, I can help keep the power in that situation. Because I've seen even people who feel powerful when they go in and they go, I'm going to make sure that they hear what I need, even though they tell me they don't have enough time, and that I will get answers to my questions. And I still hear that they end up getting railroaded into things that they don't want to do. And so I can help people keep their power in that situation. And because I think that is a lot of what helps people to get better is feeling powerful around their health.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, amazing. Another thing I was interested in did you feel like when you left medicine essentially, because I know I did, I'll be honest, like with thinking about missing being able to prescribe, was that something you thought about, or are you like completely going on that by the time you were doing practice?
Yeah, it's very interesting that you put it like that, because I thought that I had got over it, but what's interesting is that I have picked up another modality as well, which is something called frequency system. It's about, we talked about primarily electromagnetic before. It works with that, and so to help people. And so I think in some respects it has become a little bit of a substitute for prescribing. I never really thought about it until you mentioned it just then. But so I think I have probably replaced it with that. I can tell you a bit more about how it goes.
Yeah, please. I don't know anything, so teach me. Tell me about it. Yeah.
Microphone is this amazing thing that has been around actually for a long time, since the beginning of last century. And so it's actually come up with the fixable book, which I know you know about. By the time there was lots of work that was being done on the microphone is using the same level of current that is in the nodes. So as it turns out, there's kind of a sweet spot between 50 microamps and 500 microamps, which is people talking millions of amperes, so not enough really good. But actually increases the available ATP, which traditionally that's regarded as the energy of the cell. Although I'm not convinced that that's the story anymore. And I think it probably has nothing to do with helping proteins evolve. But anyway, when it is recognised that it makes a difference. So if you can get in between that 50 and 500 micrograms, you can increase the amount of ATP by 500%. And so there's the frequency specific part of it is that different tissues in your body have different resonant frequencies. And so if you think about opposite how we can see a motor shatter a glass, they're transmitting the energy from your voice into the glass vibrates and eventually breaks. So if different tissues have different resonant frequencies and you tune to that particular frequency, then you can keep the resonance at a point that is so you've got nerve irritation from facing shingles or something like that. And so then you can, if you get the resonant frequency for nerve and you get the resonant frequency for inflammation, when you combine those things in a nerve in the circuit that is got inflamed, you'll get this big resonance there. And it's like the world miracles. Like you can just transform people's pain. Like, and so there was a lady came in, told me she had pain in her for 12 years, and then in 4 minutes it got rid of it.
Wow, that's amazing. And so is it mostly used for pain, or is it also it's like the neuropathies and things, or can you use it for what
it can support lots of different conditions. It can help with anything from supposedly autoimmune conditions through to things like post-traumatic stress disorder. But it seems to work most spectacularly with nerve problems. So which makes sense because they're the ones that that have the current going through them, at least to the hospital.
Tell me too about the big thing with regards to the
frequency. So yeah, the Wixel report was kind of like a setup. Made this report about how pharmaceutical surgery is the way to go, and it was everything else was scrappery, and no one really paid that much attention to it at the time, so I like whatever. And then the American Medical Association got overtraded essentially in medical schools. Then suddenly they could then refer back to that, and so frequency specific microcurrent became illegal, well essentially illegal. You would lose your license if you were caught using it back then, and so that most of the machines got destroyed at that point, and certainly a lot of the research that had been done was destroyed. And so there was just a few machines that made it through, and so I learned off a lady called Karen Macklin, and she had got it through from an osteopath that had called Mary McGill. It was that's how it sort of made it through to the late 1980s when Karen picked it up. Because a lot of these things get squashed, if they're a threat to pharmaceuticals or a threat to surgery, or particularly if they're a threat to cancer treatments, then they'll get squashed. We want to publish as much research as we can about it, and also train as many people as we can in it, so that when eventually it does stick its head up, that there is it's too difficult to stop because of this of the number of people that are trained, and also of publications. So
that sounds great. Because how did you find out about this? Like, how did you learn about it?
So again, it's my wife. I've got a lot to be grateful for. We've been looking at things like biofield tuning and to do with this kind of electromagnetism and stuff like that. And so I was actually all set to go down like the biofield tuning person, and she said, "Look, you should really look into this So I went through and got, there was enough, I guess, testimonies in there, and she seems very genuine in her approach, so I decided that it was actually, there was enough in there to make me think, oh, I should take it seriously, I should look into it.
Okay, so at the check from website, so what's your website called?
It's the good doctor.
I love it. I love it for the name alone. Brilliant. The good doctor. How about my toes? Your dad. This is just making me interested. So is your dad best friend still with us? And yes. How does he felt about having to, being in gym practice for a long time and in the maybe good old days? What is he thought about?
Yeah, so he struggled with my position. It's as you're kind of aware, like fear is this powerful thing that they leverage people with, and so there's no doubt as you get older you feel more vulnerable, and so I think he struggled with the fact that what he saw I was doing was risky kind of behaviour. It was in terms of they were offering a solution for the vaccination. Why would you risk something else? What was it risky as in you've got this stable career, and so now you seem to be like going all the way, and so that maybe this is one of those things that you should just put up with, and just take one for the team, just so that's kind of smooth road. And so we didn't really see eye to eye on that, and so it's and I kind of struggled with that because he was always somebody who had a bit of a natural persuasion anyway, and so it was to not have that connection over that anymore. That was a bit tough for me, and so he's now that the fear is less of a problem, and our frontal lobe kind of switches off in fear situations, we lose our critical thinking, and so that we can talk much more easily about it now than we used to.